Yeah, hello. Thank you for giving me a slot here on stage. Yeah, we are Speech Design. I'm Robert Martens. I'm the CTO of Speech Design. We are not directly connected to the mail and Open-Xchange world, but you see later on that we connect to it and we integrate into it. A short agenda, just some words about who we are, what we do. And the main topic here is like, we as Speech Design, we work together with Telcos, and we've seen in the last couple of years that there are some certain trends in the telecom industry that create problems for the carriers. And let's see what this problem is, and maybe it's not only a problem for the carrier, it might also be a good opportunity for something new. And we at Speech Design, we might have a platform for that that might be a solution for that, with a new idea and some innovation in it. And last but not least, I would give you some use cases and a customer experience where we provided such a solution also together with some Dovecot technology. Okay, Speech Design, we are based in Hamburg, 1.5 hours by train from here, so it's pretty close. We're not a startup. We are founded in 1982, so we are on the market for quite a long time. We did always something with communication and voice. In Europe, we are like a leading provider for voice messaging. It's like in Germany, we're serving all the mobile carriers, Vodafone, T-Mobile, O2, and also now E+, because it belongs to O2. So we're serving about 120 million users with our solutions. And we're using Dovecot technology from the start, so it's an essential part. It's always the message store that we use in our voice messaging platform. So I think everybody in Germany at least will talk to one of our systems, even not knowing it, because it's of course branded, at least once a day when the call is not being connected or terminated. So about the trends. Yeah, what we've seen in the past couple of years is that the legacy messaging and legacy voicemail service are declining, and more of the OTT services like WhatsApp and Facebook, they are rising. And also the old voicemail is not being used much more. But what we've seen is also that things like visual voicemail gets being used much more. So when you have interactive services, that's fine, but the old legacy stuff is declining. And also the telephony sector, we've seen that the fixed mobile convergence is coming up. We have more unified integrations and communications, and we have network PBX and all the PBX functions out of the network. So these are the trends we're having seen from the telcos, from the requirements, and also from RFQs. But there's a problem with the telcos, because the telcos, what they have all these legacy services sitting on silo systems, on bare metal, and in old architectures, with no interconnections, with no connections to the web. They have bad utilizations, and so these services suffer a lot because they are not variable, they are not agile, they cannot be changed fast. You have long cycles of innovation, long project durations, high OPEX. So that's the situation of what is at the telcos. But maybe this might not be too bad, but because the telcos still have some advantages which some of the OTTs people don't have. What they do have is a great network. They have a network, and they have a full control over the network. So from end to end, they have the quality of service, they have charging and billing from end to end, they have a good customer experience, they have branded phones, so they can install their own apps, and so they have much more control end-to-end from the network. So why don't they take advantage of this feature, of this advantage? So what we think at Speech Design, the idea is that first of all, they need a good foundation. So a foundation for a future network. So they need an all-IP network. This is coming up now, so the legacy networks get more and more transformed to all-IP IMS networks. They also have connections to the legacy network. What they also need is like a common storage for like all the messages that are going through the network. And of course, they need a platform that can deliver flexible services. So what we propose is like take all these silos for SMS, all the value-added services, SMS, MMS, IVRs, and all this stuff, and put it on one platform. And have one platform that uses common resources that are already there at the carrier, and be able to rapidly design and deliver and deploy new and innovative services. So from the past, what we have seen when we have an RFQ out for new services takes about at least 1 year, maybe longer, to launch this new service, and by then the service is outdated. So you need to be able to be more agile also with introduction and the design of new services. So there's where we come in. We have a platform called Tor, like the Northern Viking gods, because we are from Northern Germany. And the new platform is called Tor 10 or Tor X. It's like the latest evolution of a carrier-grade messaging product that's been on the market since more than 15 years, but it's constantly being evolved, and it's a totally modular and open architecture. We use only standard protocols, there's so no legacy protocol in there. And it connects not only to the telco world, but also to the web world. And it integrates seamlessly into existing resources. So instead of what most of our competitors did in the past is we don't have our own private storage, we don't have our own private profiles and user directory. We connect to it if it's there, and we integrate into it. And this we do with all the other surroundings. And what's very special about the product is that we abstract the complex protocols, like all the protocols for the IMS network, for profile, for directory, for storage, or the internet protocols. We abstract these protocols to high-level functions that can be easily used from the above application logic. So, and this can be then put together in a designer where you can take these like Lego pieces and don't focus on the complexity of protocols, but only on the functionality of the service that you want to design. And so that's what I want to talk about. It's just briefly to show it's a platform that sits right in the middle and the heart of the network, connects to all the external networks, to the IMS core, to legacy networks, to external messaging, to web services, and also on the other side connects to common storage and common resources. And for example, you can see here the message store is a Dovecot message store, and also we connect to Open-Xchange for corporate enterprise integration. And you can see it's all standard protocols. There's no proprietary protocol in there. And all the stuff we're using on the other sides are also only open source products. And we are in the middle, like providing the enablers to abstract the complexity to the application, and you can write applications right in the middle and control the logic. So how is the service created? Instead of writing code, what we do, we use scripts. So that's also a standard. We use like SCXML, that's a state event machine XML protocol. It's also a standard. It's a W3C standard that we use, and you can either write it with text, but you can also write it in a visual designer. And the designer uses only really high-level things like pick up the phone, dial this, check his presence, see its calendar if he's busy, send him an email, or whatever. So using this way of designing applications, even non-developers can do it. And these scripts run totally private in a private area. So you have your running services on the platform, and you can design new services, and you can test these new software. And within a couple of days, you can design your new software, and without interfering all the live services. So it's really very easy to rapidly design and develop and deploy these services. You can also have your development environment on a laptop with simulated external entities and design your service on an offline system. So that's how we think you need to have a platform that has all the connections to the old world, to the new world, to the telco world, and to the web world, and to have an easy-to-use service creation. Maybe a short success story where we did such things. So one of our major customers, as said before, is Deutsche Telekom. And we've been working with Deutsche Telekom for more than 10 years already. We started with small services, and by the time we replaced almost all the communication services there from our domain. So before we went there, it was exactly like in the pictures before. They had dedicated servers for a couple users here and there. It was all proprietary. It was not redundant. It was a complex administration, and it was really a pile of servers only with dedicated services. When you look at it now, we have one single logical platform with a lot of services on it, from call completion to voicemail to visual voicemail, for fixed mobile convergence, for corporate voicemail. It's all running on one system. We're using the T-Online email server, which happens to be a Dovecut server, as the message store. So when we receive a message, we store it there. The good thing is you have all your messages instantly available on your T-Online client or web browser. It's now fully redundant and geo-redundant, so we have two sites that are separated more than 300 kilometers in Germany. And we're serving all 80 million users, which have been on 20 servers before, now on one full integrated server. It's IP integrated, so it's integrated in the IMS network. It's also integrated in the mobile network. We have one storage, one monitoring, one administration. So that's like a good example where such a customer did this step. The good thing is, if they want to introduce now new services, it's a fraction of time and cost to put it on the system as before. So when you look at it from a physical way, so you have two sites. You have integration into the networks, like we have SIGTRAN integration for mobile network and fixed line network. We have SIP integration for the IMS network. And on the lower side, you can see we are integrating in all these telecom resources, and one of them is the Dovecut T-Online message store. They have a central user database, there's a central configuration. So these are not part of our system. This is part of the T-Mobile and Deutsche Telekom infrastructure, and we're directly integrating into it. So when they do some changes in the configuration there, it affects everything. It doesn't have to be synchronized or replicated. It's immediately there. So what's next? What we are currently also doing is initiatives. So if you have a Dovecut server that serves a lot of users, you can voicemail enable them by putting our solution on top of a Dovecut server and have voicemail and call completion for all your email users. And we can provide this either as an on-site system, or we can also provide it as a hosted service. What we're also working on, and we just launched this with Deutsche Telekom, convergent and intelligent network services. It's all done on the same platform. It's, for example, one number service that's being introduced by T-Mobile, where you have your mobile phone, and a lot of people want to have like PBX functions on their mobile. So, for example, when you do a phone call from your mobile, and you don't want to disclose your mobile number, but your business number, that is only possible if you have special clients or a PBX in your office. This now you can order from T-Mobile directly from the website just by registering. And when you now dial a number, the B party will not see your mobile number, but your company fixed line number. And you can decide per call if it's a private call or is it a company call. And when they dial back this fixed line number, your phone will ring and the company phone will ring, or any other phone will ring. So this is like an examples from network PBX functions that usually were available only if you have dedicated PBXs for it. Now it's a service out of the network just from our platform. Yeah, other things we're working on is, for example, the Open-Xchange integration, so you can have We have an enabler for Open-Xchange that checks your calendar or your contact list, and you can integrate this into your logic. So, for example, if somebody calls you, it checks first, is it a VIP or is it your family? If not, and if you have an appointment or a meeting, it can either transfer the call to somewhere else, have a special announcement, put you on voicemail, or anything like this. So this is like the enterprise integration we're also working. And these are all just some of the examples that are possible services on our platform. But on a daily basis and with new RFQs, we see from the marketing people they have great new ideas how to combine web services and telco services. We have a social media connector for Facebook and for Twitter, for example, and you can also incorporate this. And by having a designer that's very easy to use, by just focusing on logic and not on protocols and interfaces, you can really prototype services very easily. So that's almost the end. What's the summary? So we think that consolidation is one of the key factors for telcos to generate new revenue and save some OPEX. That's something they have to do, and we see from the RFQs that are planning to do this, so putting all the silos into one big platform now. And the foundation really is to have an all-IP network, and of course it is to have shared resources instead of islands everywhere. And when you have a modular and standard-based and open service delivery platform, then carriers will be able to react to the market and have rapidly developed, deployed, and tested services on the market, not within years, but within months. And then they might be able to also compete to other OTT services that only serve special features, but they have an end-to-end relationship with their customers, they have end-to-end quality control over the network, and I think then they will be able to be a competitor. And that's about it. Any questions?
Thank you very much, Robert Martens from Speech Design.